Cancer, welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. Let's do your reading for Cancer for the week of April 28th through, I think it's May 4th. Can't believe summer's already coming. That went kind of fast, don't you think? Okay, so what we're going to do is start out with the Dragon Tarot and do the Cancer Sun reading, and follow that we'll do a Moon reading, see what your relationships and emotions are looking like. So let's start out and do your general spread, Cancer. See what's going on. For those of you that are on my Facebook, go ahead and join me on YouTube, and there's a split screen where you can see the cards as we go, but I'll try and include you guys as we do this. So here we go. First thing that comes up is the World card, Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups, Four of Cups, and Three of Coins. So interestingly enough, Cancer is feeling a little bit more social than they had been prior to this week, and that might not necessarily in person, but you're definitely feeling like you need to reach out to the people in your life. I am seeing the World card. Things are starting to come full circle for you. Ace of Cups references a new beginning for you when it comes to love, energy, and I'm also seeing Queen of Coins. And this Queen of Coins paired with the Three of Coins, Queen of Coins, and the Two of Coins that are showing up. Two of Coins means collaboration, money, and possibly a job offer for you, and some of you guys might even be moving, because I'm seeing a lot of shifting energy going on with you. The interesting thing that's happening with Cancer right now is I am seeing the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is telling me that your intuition is firing quite a bit more than it had been in the past. You're feeling a little bit restricted and cornered, okay? So Cancer's feeling like they're locked in, see? In Cancer, with this Ten of Swords, his neck is bent into the swords, and he feels as if you're starting to look at all of the places where you're overcommitted. And what I mean by that is sometimes there's requirements, money, family, finances, work, etc. And as you're looking at all of these things, you're starting to notice that there's people pulling on you from all different directions, and you're starting to look at where you're committed and how you can keep those commitments and whether you're keeping those commitments. Ace of Wands is a beautiful card that has been showing up for all three signs that I did today. I did Cancer, Taurus, and Gemini. And the Ace of Wands shows up, and what that is telling us is that there is a large amount of energy that's referencing you playing with like new beginnings. However, it all boils down to what you're doing with the tools that you have, and you're starting to discover that you have much more capability than you expected that you had. So for example, you know, you're getting a little more creative than you thought you had been before. Solutions are a little easier. I do see the Seven of Coins. This usually references a move or something having to do with shifting energy, and that is if you have a job offer, or if you have something coming up where you're doing something differently with your money. So if you're playing with that whole idea, I am seeing that you're looking at some collaborations and possibly some new education models for you. Maybe you're doing an online class or learning something new. Some of us are doing, you know, the multi-level and home-based businesses and starting to look at our resources a little bit differently. I am seeing the Six of Cups, so there is some celebration and fun times coming up for you. It's not going to feel quite so restrained. I am seeing the Tower card. Here's what's true for Cancer. Definitely feeling as if the sands are shifting and you're not quite sure where your footing stands and whether you can trust it, because we do have the Tower card, and it is all about this foundation being shaken and things being turned a little upside down and topsy-turvy. But here's the thing that I always say about the Tower card. The Tower card is the great leveler. It's the thing that shows us where the rubber meets the road and how we feel about events that are happening around us. Definitely finding that some things need to move out of the way for new ones to come into play, and that's definitely the Tower card. And oftentimes the Tower is that emotional state that we're in when shift happens. Like if you guys saw that shift video I was talking about earlier, where it's shift happens and you kind of feel as if, you know, it's out of your control and you're not quite sure that this is something that you want to do. Usually shift occurs when we choose it, but now shift is happening when we aren't really waiting for it or expecting it. And so as we're going through this, you're taking it a little harder. So playing a little bit, and I always call that the victim game. This happened to me, right? Versus this is happening, and what do I do with it next? So coming from a place of solution will alleviate some of that and stop making you feel as if you're, you know, under someone else's control or feeling out of control. I do see the Knight of Cups at play in this reading, and that tells me that Cancer is very emotional right now. And what I mean by that is you feel almost like PMS or almost like road rage, or almost feeling like you want to cry for no reason, feeling a little uncomfortable. These aren't bad things. Sometimes it's okay to be emotional. Allow them to flow through you. Don't be impulsive with your money, because I am seeing the Knight of Coins as well. So the Knight of Coins was telling us that there is a little bit of impulsive behavior going on. Or you're maybe aren't acting on it, but it might just feel like you feel like you need to be doing something. I also see Cancer looking for new sources of income with the Four of Coins, or trying to find ways that they can work around situations. Let's pull some cards from my Mystic Dreamer now and look into Cancer Moon. So Cancer Moon, that's your how you think, how you feel, how you process emotions. I used to do this as a relationship reading, but what's true is we have so many dynamics at play and everybody's a little bit different with our reading that I've changed it a little bit into your moon sign. So this is Cancer Moon. So for those of you that know that, look up your Cancer, look up your signs and pull your first three, which are Sun, Rising, and Moon. Rising are how people see you. Moon is how you process and think, how you feel. So let's take a look at Cancer Moon. Here we go. So Two of Pentacles comes up first for Cancer Moon. That is juggling two ideas, feeling a little stuck in between. I am seeing Six of Swords, and as you're moving forward with this next week, you're going to start feeling as if the pressure is starting to relieve just a little bit, and you're feeling like this routine is getting a little bit easier for you to navigate, okay? I am seeing the Emperor. So are you feeling as if others are in control right now, or there's other people dictating your emotions or dictating how things are playing out? I am seeing both the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups, which is a good conflict. I'm seeing Knight of Cups. So for some of you, Cancer is definitely feeling, again, I keep hearing the word victim, so you're definitely feeling as if things are outside of your control and starting to buck against them a little bit. I do see the Queen of Swords, and that's being decisive. Sometimes the Queen of Swords is not nice. Queen of Swords often comes across as our bitch. I always call that my bitch card. But sometimes this is absolutely necessary, especially if you have someone like the Emperor in your life, or Emperor pulling the strings. The Emperor usually is a leader, someone who's very direct, makes decisions without asking, makes decisions without consulting other individuals. But I'm also seeing the Knight of Cups. So that again is referencing you having that emotional state that's kind of all over the place and feeling as if you're pulled left and right and you're not quite sure which emotion to settle on, because it's kind of mercurial and a little bit all over the place. And the reason why I say victim is if you look at this card right here, we have the Ten of Swords, and that's feeling like you've got weight on your back and swords. And you also have the Four of Pentacles, which is you kind of feel like you're cheated. You might have just felt like you were getting your momentum, things were going your way, and now suddenly the rug is yanked out from underneath you. However, these things are magical moments. They're the things that define us. You know, hard times show us what you're made of, right? So don't take it so personal. It's happening to all of us. Your mental state affects your outcome. We do have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, Wands is work. Ace of Wands splits the rock, makes a new decision. It's decisive. It's new beginnings. So don't look at this. Everything's being redesigned right now. So we've taken all the pieces out of the box, shaken it up, and we get to put them all back together in the design that we choose. And so I am seeing balance for you. Trust your intuition. We do have the High Priestess here, which tells me your intuition is firing, that you're feeling as if these things are really, your intuition is firing in such a way that you're feeling as if you kind of know the direction that you need to go, whether it's in alignment with what you've already planned or in alignment with what you've already put in place, but you're finding and striking a balance. And let me show you what this looks like. So this is the Temperance card. She's got a cup here, and she's balancing the two back and forth together. There's abundance all around her because she's sitting right on in a river. But you can only take as much as what your cup can hold, and you have to decide how much and where you want to take this in at. So the other thing too that I'm seeing is the Empress, which is high level of protective energy. And the other thing that I'm seeing too is Six of Swords. No storm stays over one house forever, so allow this storm to pass. What do they say when things get hard, or when a big wave comes? You go deep. You dive deep and you let it just kind of wash over you. Same thing's true with emotions. Emotions come up. We have no control over what comes triggered, what emotions are at play. However, we don't let them take root. Let them pass through us, and we can analyze them later. But if you have those moments where you're feeling emotional, let them come out, let them play, because the more you tamper them down, the more you suffocate and stifle them, the more they erupt later. So I always say little boundaries sooner and more often. Allow for people to see those boundaries more often and know where they're at, because the longer you let them brew and stew, the pressure cooker will explode. So allow your emotions to pass right on through you. Let's pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients and see what the Oracle deck has to say. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. You can also find me on My Psychic One. Let's see if you want to have a deeper look at your personal situation, your relationships, your finances. Reach out, book your appointment, karmaondeck.com. Shagai, fragmented. So again, this is a perfect card for you. So Shagai are these fragmented. 4, Cancer was torn from you, lost forever. It hasn't been easy at all to gather what little strength you had left, but sometimes we must undergo a journey of turmoil to find the haven of peace on the other. Them to be cleared. They don't make room for other things. So if you fastidiously hold on to a certain thought or a process and focus on whether it's misery, depression, sadness, hopelessness, whatever, the more you focus on that, and it's a stuck energy, it doesn't allow for flow. So now that you know you're safe to release your sorrow and allow your tears to cleanse away your hurt, as though gathering back your scattered Shagai bones, your heart will knit together and you will soon feel whole again. I don't know if that resonates for you, but let me know. Your incantation for the week as follows: I won't turn back, I'll carry on. Hard words and sorrow made me strong. For now I rise, I'm standing tall. Emotions healed, I conquered all. Go get it, Cancer. It's saying that a situation's healed and it's time to pick up the pieces and move on. So we have no control over the shattered plate. We can either buy a new one, go without, we can glue it. Like, we can't sit and cry over spilled milk. We have to move on. There's no choice. There's nothing to be said about that except just stay in motion. A body in motion stays in motion. So don't stay stuck, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. Like, subscribe, share, stick around. Let me know how you feel your reading went. Of course, for those of you on YouTube, let me know where you are in the world. Say hello. Catch you on the flip side. For those of you that are watching, I am going to do some lives later where you can pop in and ask some questions, and I can read you independently and actually give you a quick little one-question answer. And we'll play with that a little later. Love and light, guys. Catch you on the flip side. Thank you for hanging out with me.